Well, hello and welcome everybody to the New Health Conversation. And for all the censors out there that monitor the community guidelines, we always assure you at the New Health Conversation that we absolutely adhere to your community guidelines. We do that by number one, we don't have anything for sale. We only supply medical proof that's backed up, that everybody can see it's in the public domain. We don't make any claims. We don't make outrageous claims. We don't do anything that's not been proven medically to be safe. And we pride ourselves on that. We've done it for a long time. I've written 4 best-selling books, some of the top medical doctors in the world. I've done 20 shows on public broadcasting and been able to do over 1,500 lectures around the world. And I've always relied on my original content, my original research. So I always like you to know that, okay? Well, hello, everybody. Hello, Steve. Hello, Jen, Marie, Ali, Lilo. Yeah. Well, we'll see. This is... I don't normally come on, at least I'm in Denver, Colorado, and it's 7 o'clock here. I know it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast and really, really late in the UK and places around the world. Although in Australia, it's about noon time there, I believe, tomorrow in Melbourne or in Sydney and also in New Zealand, because these podcasts go all over the world. So let's get right to it to be very precise on time. Hello, Irvin John. Hello, Virginia Hicks. So, let's talk about this for just a moment. Okay, so number one, this is not a diet. Number two, it has nothing to do with counting calories. Number three, it's not about exercise. This is so revolutionary that it was invented by the top, they're rated the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. There's no products involved here, by the way. No, there's no products to buy. The researchers basically had done 40 years of research, 100 studies over thousands of people. And one of the things they determined and how this came about was they proved what didn't work was counting calories. In 40 years and 100 studies, they never saw any diet that ever produced long-term weight loss. In other words, people lost weight initially, and then not only did they gain it back, but 2/3 ended up weighing more than they did when they started. So the principle behind this, let me make it simple, because I know there's a lot of people on here right now. Okay, I'm going to try inviting you again. Invite. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I can see you, but then people live, creator decline. I don't get that. You're trying to come on and you decline. Okay, well, whatever. All right, well, anyway, let me get back to all of you. So the principle is this. What if we abandon calories altogether? Which we should, because the human body has no idea what a calorie is. Do any of you actually know the definition of a calorie? I'd love for anybody to put it in the chat. We've had 9 people in a year ever get the definition of a calorie correct. And yet you're all counting calories. You're all on diets by counting calories. Guess who can't count calories? The human body. So the researchers said, we're going to abandon calorie counting. We're going to go to a new concept. We're going to go out and we're going to pick out foods that have higher levels of nutrition, and yet we could give you lower food. So the theory was, can we give you less food by quantity, but increase nutrition? So they put together a food list that you all would get. You take it to the grocery store: proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. And instead of giving you calorie counts, they give you serving sizes. That's very, very important. Nothing to do with calorie counting. There's no calorie counting on this, all right? So 30% of the food you consume came from the grocery store. But here's what made this work. There were other researchers that spent 20 years going around the world to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities of food, okay? What they found was astonishing, that some of the foods actually came, or the nutrients came from areas of the world, these blue zones, where, people living to be 100 years old and they basically don't get sick. Now, the researchers thought this was going to work, but it was a theory. So now they put together what they call a nutritional system. This isn't supplement. This isn't lotions, potions, pills, etc. And so then what they did, they created a new way of eating called protein pacing, which is a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office. So what they did, they had her eating 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. She started with these exotic foods around the world. Lunch from the grocery store list that you would get. Dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner, these exotic foods around the world. Very important. It had to be 4 meals and they had to be spaced out. They tried all different variations. They did like 50% of the food at lunch and 50% at dinner. Didn't work. 25% of the food, 75% at dinner. It didn't work. What happened was they proved, and the reason they got the registered trademark, the patent office, they demonstrated medically that by spreading the nutrition out over about 8, 10, 12 hours, it was the key. And 2 days, so 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, she did something, and this will freak all of you out. It's called intermittent nutritional fasting. not fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. In those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time she ate them 8 times a day. You heard me. She was eating about every hour and a half to 2 hours. She was fasting with nutrition because the amount of food she was consuming was tiny, but the nutrition in that food was enormous. That's one of the secrets of the people living to be 100 years old, right? Now, what was amazing, the diabetics on this, no one had an insulin spike. Because I've had diabetics come on and go, oh my God, I'm worried about eating more than 4 times a day. Well, no, this worked. People that weighed 300 pounds were not hungry. So let me get one concept across. You are never, ever, ever been hungry for calories. Never. It's a total hoax. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. The only thing your body cares about is nutrition. So the researchers were very careful to make sure they always were giving her enough nutrition. Because if you drop, what happens on diets when you lower the amount of food you're consuming, that's what you do on a diet. What else are you lowering? Nutrition. When the brain figures out that there's enough nutrition, it freaks out, goes in starvation mode, and uses your muscles for fuel, slowing down your metabolism and slowing down your own immune system. By going on these diets, all of you, you're actually making yourself unhealthy. Okay, so what they also found in the first 30 days, people's hunger went down 41%. Well, that wasn't surprising because they were eating these massive amounts of nutrition, which obviously that satisfied the brain that you're full of nutrition, all right? But they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis and found that all of those, what was so amazing when they did that, they found that this was removing chemicals from the body. In case you didn't know it, we're breathing, we're drinking, we're eating chemicals. And as those enter our body, what our body is to protect us, it takes the chemical and stuffs it in our fat cells. That's why so many of you complain about not just how much weight you've gained, but how much fat you actually have in your body. You got it, everybody? And every one of us suffer from this new medical syndrome. It's called TDOS. T for toxins, D for nutritional deficiency, O for being overweight, and S is for stress. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office of a new medical syndrome. You've probably all heard of Syndrome X or metabolic syndrome. Peter Greenlaw, who's that? Oh, I guess that's me. I did discover this. But what it really means is that we definitely we're storing chemicals in our body. The research has proved through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, this is removing the chemicals. Look at her stomach, everybody, on day 1. That's the body showing you the fat cells expanded because of the chemicals that it's storing inside. Then look at day 30. That's with no exercise allowed. They wore Fitbits to prove they weren't exercising. Now, why did they not want it to exercise? Because it would have been an outlier. Then you say, well, she lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No, it wasn't. It had nothing to do with that. This is going to change the world. Everything that they thought, the research about diet, exercise, nutrition, out the window, out the window. And all of you that are counting calories, I feel so sorry for you because you're headed for a dead end. Let me read a big meta-analysis out of UCLA. A landmark meta-analysis by Tracy Mann and her colleagues, published in the American Psychologist, reviewed 31 long-term studies on calorie-restricted diets and exposed the harsh truth. Here's the truth. Now, this is from the researchers. Tracy Mann is one of the top weight loss researchers in the world for over 30 years. Listen to this. So the analysis concluded that dieting itself predicts future weight gain. You're on a diet now, you're going to gain weight if you're counting calories and doing the old traditional way. It doesn't work. Now, that may make you mad, but we're losing the battle. From 1990 until 2025, obesity has doubled in the United States. Hell, we got more diets than ever. Are you all getting this? Does it make sense? Give me a yes, somebody. And if you think it's about calories in, calories out, let's talk now to Harvard Medical School. Stop counting calories. This is Harvard Medical School. They said, we've been taught that losing weight is a matter of simple math. Cut calories 3,500, you lose a pound. But as it turns out, experts are learning this decades-old strategy is totally misguided. The idea of a calorie in, calorie out, when it comes to weight loss, is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima, Stanford obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to concentrate what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. This is Harvard Medical School telling you to stop counting calories. There's study after study after study. Another one, why you shouldn't count calories. The science behind why diets don't work. And here's one in Medicare. Medicare is getting in the act. Listen to this. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. The Medicare researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies show that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any diet. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits, evidenced by the fact we doubled obesity in 35 years. Are you kidding me? Do you all think what diet you're on now is going to work? I mean, you can get mad at me. Yeah, I get very passionate. I get very excited because we're able to deliver to you real medical proof. As a matter of fact, look above our head in blue, the new health conversation. It's a free medical website. You all can go and see the medical proof if you want. We got people coming on, jumping off, etc. They're all counting calories. It doesn't work, everybody. Let me show you the website. There's nothing to buy on that website. You type in the new health conversation. It'll give it a second. It'll come up. You'll see it in Google. There it is. Click on the new health conversation. And there's the website. There's nothing to buy on that website. Nothing. Number one is really important. It's an exclusive podcast with the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. He and his team put this together. You'll hear him in the interview say, they will never recommend to any of they're the top weight loss people in the world, researchers. They said they'd never put anybody on a traditional diet ever again. They said it would be unethical. We now know what works. We're going to put people on a diet to take 8 weeks to lose weight, and 25 to 40% of what they're losing is lean muscle. Right there, number three, you even get to see the medical studies. We're not holding anything back from you. The peer-reviewed human trial studies. Do you all understand the significance of a peer-reviewed human trial study? It's not a scientific paper. It's not an opinion. Oh, it's doctor recommended. That doesn't mean a damn thing. Doesn't mean a darn thing. Unless you have a peer-reviewed human trial study on human beings. Not mice, not rats, not chimpanzees, or monkeys. No, on humans. Yeah, I'm very, very passionate about this because this is changing lives. Cornelia, we're gonna explain it to you right now. So let's come back to the beginning. Okay, how do you lose weight? That's what someone's saying right now. And in the meantime, any of you can go to that website and you get, by the way, the coaching's free. How much is the coaching, everybody? Zero. How much is the consultation? Zero. Okay, so how do you lose weight without counting calories? Well, first, the people invented this. The researchers had done 40 years, 100 studies on every kind of calorie counting diet, and never did a diet ever keep weight off long term, and 2/3 of people gained more than they lost. So fundamentally, here's what they did. Their theory was, we're going to find foods with really high levels of nutrition. And those foods, you're going to actually be able to eat less food by quantity, but have more nutrition. So they put a grocery store list together you take to the grocery store. Proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. Nothing to do with calories. No calorie counting allowed. All they cared about was giving you enough nutrition to make sure that you didn't go in starvation mode, which is what happens on every diet, whether you know it or not. 25 to 40% of the weight you're actually losing is lean muscle mass. It's not up for debate. It's in all the studies now, right? So the researchers said, we're going to find foods with high levels of nutrition. So they put together proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. No calorie counting. They gave you serving sizes. Now, don't panic and think you're not going to have enough to eat. You're not going to be hungry, as you'll learn in a minute. Because the other 70% of the food that they gave to her didn't come from the United States, didn't come from North America. It came from exotic regions in Russia and Mongolia and Tibet and South America, New Zealand. And some of them came from these blue zones where people living to be 100 years old. So they had those food or those nutrients combined with regular food or organic food from our grocery store, and then they created 2 new ways for you to eat. 5 days a week, you're going to have 4 meals a day each day. You start in the morning with the exotic foods from around the world, lunch from the grocery, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner, these exotic foods from around the world. That's called protein pacing. 2 days a week, this is all until you lose your weight. 2 days a week, you're going to do something called intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store at all. Only these exotic foods from around the world. But this time, she ate 8 times a day. You heard me. She was eating every hour and a half to 2 hours. Do you know diabetics on this? There were no insulin spikes. Did you know that people weighed 300 pounds were not hungry? This whole fallacy about I'm hungry, you need more calories. The hell you do. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. Stop counting calories now. Stop it. It's ridiculous. It will not work. Every study says that, including, here's a big one, why you shouldn't count calories. While counting calories and restricting calories can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. What's even worse, 2/3 of people try to count or restrict calories gain back more weight than they lost. Stop, get calories out of your mind. In a month's time, hunger came down in these people 41%. Blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides all came down dramatically in 30 days. For the first time in history, they measured inflammation, which plagues all of us, the stiffness, those aches and joints, aches and pains you have. It went down 25% in a month. But the big one, the number one reason to do this, because guess what this is not? It's not a diet. You know what it is? It's a detox. And the researchers did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, proving this is removing chemicals from the body, because we're all breathing in, like right now, we're breathing in the fumes from the coal-fired power plants in China from 2 weeks ago. Did you all see the article? Look it up. Microplastics in your brain. They're finding microplastics in our brain and in our coronary arteries. When they're doing coronary bypass surgery, they're finding plastic in the heart. What the hell? They also now we're storing herbicides and pesticides, Scotch Guard and Teflon. This detox, one of the side effects, this tremendous, safe, rapid weight loss. She lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. But there's other people. Look at this, everybody. 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at how she shrank because she's detoxing. This is a detox. It's not a diet. Although you're detoxing because of food and because of this new way of eating where they spaced it out. Can you imagine having 8 meals a day and not gaining weight and being able to fast with nutrition? Look at the results. And then this is the daughter of a friend of mine. How about 60 pounds in 3 months, everybody? 60 in 3 months. Look at her face. Look at her arms. Look at her body. It's the same woman. We're accused all the time. It's not the same woman. The hell it's not. It's the daughter of a friend of mine. You think we're going to photo? I guess you could. You could think we'd Photoshop but I know her hair looks different. It's the same woman. That shows what happens when you lose weight in the right way. Notice no loose skin. The website, you can see it here again, the new health conversation. You type that into Google, it'll take you to the site. There are before and afters there of people who lost 100 pounds, no loose skin. I'm going to show you a picture now that'll stun you, I hope. You know, you always hear when you get older you can't lose weight, right? Well, how about this guy? I got to in his mid-60s, 40 pounds, 52 inches in a month with no exercise. Look at his stomach. Look at how much his stomach went down. But look at his A1C, 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. No one's ever seen results like this before. Have you ever seen results like this, anybody? Please put it in the chat. Mary and Nicey and Chirano and Adora and Kitty. Wow, Farrook and Maria and Mandy and Mimosa and Carolyn. Hello, Carolyn. And again, you all have this amazing opportunity. If you choose it, go to the website. We will. Here's the thing. We won't contact you if you go to the website. No way. We don't contact you. We want you to have the freedom to see the medical proof. And if you like what you see and notice, free coaching. Guess how much the coaching is, everybody? Zero, free. Guess how much the consultation is? Zero, free. I see people trying to sell you diets. I mean, recipes. And then you get a coach. Really? Really? That's crazy. And do any of them, can anybody tell me any influencer you're following that's showing you one shred of medical proof? Who would it be? I haven't seen any. And you're following all these people that are giving you opinions. The only thing that matters in medical research are peer-reviewed human trial studies done on human beings, not on mice or rats or monkeys or whatever. You're all being fooled. You're all being bamboozled. I was for a long time before I learned. I didn't discover this. I found out about it. So Infinite Fractal and Carolyn and Joe Field join. Again, who would like me to go over again? How in the world does this guy in his 60s lose 40 pounds and 52 inches in a month, everybody? How's that possible? That can't possibly be safe, right? It is safe because he didn't lose any lean muscle. He gained lean muscle with no exercise. Look at his stomach. And look at his face. Look at his chin even. You think that's photoshopped? Think whatever you want to think. Because your skepticism could prevent you from changing the rest of your life. What I tell people is this. Can you take a chance to think that that's fake? And then you don't go to the website. You have everything to gain, not weight loss, sorry, by going to the new health conversation and seeing the medical proof. Or not. Hello, Carmela and Adrienne and Yendo and Who else would like to make a comment upon this? Is live. It's me. It's not pre-recorded. It's absolutely real. I am real, actually. So who would like to ask me a question? Come on, everybody. Oh, we got 2 likes. Wow, that's great. Can you guys tap on the screen, men and women, please? Let's get some likes. This is life change. That's not my research, okay? Let's be clear. I didn't invent this. But I'd love for anybody to put in the chat, has anybody seen anything like this? That's 5 pounds a week. You know what I love is if we can have an open forum here. If any of you want to lose 20 pounds, give yourself, put it in the chat. How long would you give yourself to do it? Why wouldn't you go look at the medical proof? I don't get it. Do you think it's not real? If it's not, if you think we're lying to you, you're on the wrong podcast. We're nutritional researchers. We don't have any products to sell you. There's no lotions, potions, pills, capsules, etc. You're going to buy food from your grocery store, and you're going to buy these exotic ingredients, nutrients, whatever you want to call them, from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, directly from the researchers. You can't buy that stuff in your store. It doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. 24 months. Infinite. Okay, how impressed are you with that? With no exercise, she lost no water, and she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass. So infinite fractal. Honestly, I'd love your reaction. Tell me what you think. Have you ever seen anything like that? And she's kept it off for 9 years. These pictures are 8 or 9 years ago. Does it look like her skin sagged? I'll show you one. Look at this, everybody. 35 pounds in 37 days. How's that, infinite fractal? Look at that. Look at her body. Is that just crazy? No loose skin. Look at this one. My friend's daughter. Look at that. Shouldn't she have loose skin? She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. Look at her waist area. That's not Photoshop. Infinite fractal. Are you curious? Are you interested? And you can go and see the medical proof behind this, and then get a free coach if you want. You don't have to get a coach to see the medical proof. Fractal, is that crazy good? By the way, no exercise. They wore Fitbits to prove they weren't exercising. You're saying, yes, it's amazing? Yes, I agree. So infinite, if you want, any of you, look, I want to invite you. We're not your bosses. But we've provided this free medical proof for all of you. It's free to go there. This movement, the New Health Conversation, it's a movement. You don't have to paint it. I mean, you just can be part of it. Right now, you're part of it by seeing the medical proof. Obviously, you may want to do what they're doing. But how many of you are curious about how in the world is this even possible? If it's not fake. Did we fake it? No. Is it Photoshop? No. Is it... No. Yeah, exactly. So you still want to, I'm assuming you've lost weight and gained it back before. You probably wouldn't be on this call tonight. What are we on? We're on TikTok. Sorry, I'm on social media. This is my 5th one today. I've done like 10 hours of podcasts today. So the fact I'm even upright is pretty darn good, you know? But, so are you clear, Infinite? You can go to that website, the New Health Conversation. There's nothing. Okay, all right. Nanya. So did you hear, Nanya, what I said about how she did it? Look at, she lost 60 pounds in 3 months, Nanya. How about that? I will head over to the website. Good. But Nanya, what do you think? Tell me what you think, Nanya. What do you think about that? Yes, Infinite. Great. And Infinite, what you do, if you like what you see, scroll down and you get a free coach. And it's not a joke, but it's late tonight, so probably wouldn't be tomorrow until a coach would get a hold of you. But fill out the form once you go. If you like what you see, because there's no way we will contact you. If you go there, there's no way for us to contact you unless you decide you want us to contact you. Got it, Infinite? And then Nunya, what do you think? I just joined, so I didn't hear. That's wild. Okay. Let's come back. This is an easier one because this is much more typical. I keep inviting you on, whoever that is, but you don't accept the invitation to come on. Somebody's trying to come on live to join me. All right, so Nunya, let me explain it to you. So this was invented by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world who'd done 100 studies over 40 years. They looked at every kind of diet out there and they determined one thing. There was no diet, Nunya, ever in 40 years where people lost weight and kept it off, and 2/3 of the people gained more weight than they lost. That's a sad reality. Well, it's backed up by the fact since in 1990 to 2025, we doubled the number of people obese in this country. Does that sound like diets are working? It's out of control. And people keep doing this stupid calorie counting, calories in, calories out. That's what the researchers, they got paid to analyze diets, and they were always calories in, calories out with a different name. So they said, stop. On this, Nanya, no counting calories. No, 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 no. The researchers put together a food list that you would go to your grocery store, but only 30% of what you bought or purchased last month would you purchase now. They give you a list of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. But instead of giving you calorie amounts, they give you serving sizes. Does that make sense, Nunya? Because remember, the only thing that matters to your body is not a calorie. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. Only thing that matters to all of us is nutrition. That's how come we're alive. Air, water, and nutrition are the three things, or we're not going to be alive. What a diet does, you reduce the amount of food, you reduce the amount of nutrition. The brain thinks you're starving to death and uses your muscles for fuel, slowing down your metabolism. That's why you gain everything back. That picture's 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight up for 8 or 9 years. Heck, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years doing this, okay? So we know that it works, right? Now, 30% of the food that you would buy or purchase or consume would come from your grocery store, from the list that they would give you of serving sizes. But here was the key that made it work. You can't buy this next part at the grocery store. These other researchers had gone around the world to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities of food. So now they had these two groups of food. And now they were going to put together a nutritional system, which incorporated what? 30% of the food from the grocery store, 70% from these exotic foods around the world, and then a completely new way of consuming the foods, because these foods weren't based on quantities of food, they were based on the amount of nutrition. So 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. Yes, doesn't sound like that would work, but it did. It's called protein pacing, where 5 days a week, she started with these exotic foods around the world. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner, these exotic foods around the world. 2 days a week, she did something called, now don't freak out on me, everybody, intermittent nutritional fasting. On those days, not fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. Those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time, she ate 8 times a day. Yeah. All the diabetics went, oh my God, an insulin spike. No diabetics had insulin spikes, and people that weighed 400 pounds were not hungry. Well, it makes sense. See, when you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. Stop the madness of counting these damn calories when your body has no idea what a calorie is. The only thing that matters to your body is nutrition. That's the only thing it can measure. It's the only thing it cares about. So when you're hungry, you're not hungry for calories. You're hungry for nutrition. That's what these researchers did, but there's so much more. In a month, people's hunger came down 41%. Blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides all came down dramatically in 30 days. But here was the big one. See, what this is not a diet. You know what this is? A detox. Because every one of us suffer from this medical syndrome now called TDOS. T for toxicity, D for nutrition deficiency, O for being overweight, S is for stress. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. Peter Greenlaw, oh, that's me. I did discover it. So you're talking to the person who discovered this. But more than me, I discovered it, but I didn't do the research necessarily. Well, I did, but what I'm saying is that the big researchers now have said that they know that we're ingesting herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon, and we're storing them in our fat cells. And when the body takes that chemical and stuffs it in the fat cell, your fat cells expand. Don't let anybody tell you you're burning fat. It's a complete lie. No diet burns fat. No exercise program burns fat. Your fat cells, you're born with the number of fat cells, who you die with the same number of fat cells, and they expand or contract. And sadly, most of you talk about the fact you're so unhappy, not just about how much weight you've gained, but how much fat. If you look at her stomach on day 1 and you look at her stomach on day 30, that is the detox. That's why she doesn't have any loose skin, because her fat cells shrank. As a matter of fact, listen, Most women on this lose a whole dress size in the first week. How much would that excite you ladies if you could lose a dress size in a week with no exercise? Men, 2 to 4 inches off your waist in a week. I lost 8 inches off my waist in 18 days. Went from 42 to a 34-inch waist. I'm a 34-inch waist 23 years later. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks. I've kept it off for 23 years. This is real, everybody. It's not fake. Because I don't have anything to sell you. I'm a scientist. We're giving you the free medical information right there. You can see it in blue above our head, the New Health Conversation. You type that in Google, it takes you to the website. You get to see all the medical proof, and if you like what you see, scroll down, and you get to decide. You can get it. The coaching's free. Guess how much the coaching is, everybody? $0. How much is the consultation? $0. We got coached. And now we're paying it forward. We're helping other people to do this. I need to lose about, I will head over. I just joined. Yes, interesting. I'm going to the website. Thank you. Nanya, right. But Nanya, do you see it there, the website, the New Health Conversation? Just give me a yes. I want to make sure. And so here's what you do. You go to Google. I'm just being cautious, so I make sure you don't mess, you know what you're doing. The New Health Conversation, okay? When you go there, just so you can see it, it'll take you in Google to the link. There's the website. There's nothing to buy there. But one of the things I want to point out, it's very important. Number one, is an exclusive podcast with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. If you like what you see, Nanya, and I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name, then you can scroll down and you get a free coach. Also, something I didn't even tell you, Nanya, and I didn't tell Infinite Fractural. The 70% of the food you buy from those suppliers, in the first 30 days, they'll give you all your money back if it doesn't work. Because when you go there, Nanya, what you'll see is under the coaches, it says 100% money back guarantee. Well, that's not on the 30% of the food you're going to buy from the grocery store unless you negotiate with them. But those suppliers, no questions asked, you didn't work, you didn't like it, 100% of your money back. It's so rare. Now, nothing's 100%, of course. I wouldn't be that dumb to tell of you that. But this is I know it's too good to be true. Now, what I think is so amazing, I showed you Curtis. But look, everybody, a 60-year-old man, 40 pounds, 52 inches in 30 days, unless we're lying to you or photoshopped or we photo hacked or whatever you call that, it's real. That's actually what happened. So again, who would like to ask me a question? Wow, I can't believe it's almost 10 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm sure some of you, but I got people all over the world on these podcasts now, which is great. We had somebody just on the last one from the UK, and it was 2:30 in the morning. She said she has insomnia because it's like 100 degrees in London and there's no air conditioning over there. But I know in Australia now we're at about 12 o'clock tomorrow. This is 12 o'clock Sunday for them because we've got a lot of people in New Zealand, Australia. It's not available everywhere because those suppliers, has nothing to do with me, where they supply. United States, Canada, Mexico, Puerto Rico, New Zealand, Australia, and I believe, well, I know all the EU. That's it. They're not in South America. They're not in Africa. So there's a bunch at the Caribbean. They're not actually even in there. But if you're in one of those places where it's available, then you really would want to check it out. But all of you, just ponder that picture. Look at even his chin. You can see. Look at that. He haven't shrank in his chin. So who would like to ask me a question? We've still got lots of people on here, lots of questions, lots of everything. Who would like to ask me a question? Anybody? Because I'll probably go maybe 15 minutes more, maybe, because my voice, this is my 5th one today. So I'm going on, I think I did 3 hours, I did 2, 5, 6. I think I've already done like 7 hours of talking. So it's amazing my voice still even works. So again, who else would like to find out? Or any question. This is an open forum. I'm here. It's live. It's not pre-recorded. It's not an infomercial. This is a medical podcast to educate you and give you the opportunity to see all the medical proof for free. Now, I guess one of the things we should address are the shots, because that's a question I get all the time. We're not against the shots, the GLP-1s, semaglutide, Wegovy, Ozempic, Epizide, whatever, okay? But all we're going to do as researchers, we're going to show you. Now, by the way, you can go and look at this research at the New England Journal of Medicine, once weekly semaglutide in adults with overweight or obese. All I want to do is show you the actual results of this big study that they did, New England Journal of Medicine, 68 weeks. That's a year and 4 months, okay? The weight loss after 68 weeks was 32 pounds, and 40% of the 32 pounds was lean muscle mass. So it took them 68 weeks to lose 32 pounds. She didn't get the memo, right? She lost 21 pounds in a month. And certainly Curtis didn't get the memo, 40 pounds in a month. We're not against the shots. They're helping diabetics and they're helping people that are morbidly obese. Go for it. But if you had the choice between the two, which one would you choose? I'm just saying, it's up to you. We're not here to convince you. Do you understand? We're here to educate you. Because the only way you can move forward in your life is to be able to be educated about what are the best practices. What are the best things I can do for myself? If your health is not your number one priority, why not? Have you given up on trying to lose weight because everything you've tried has crashed and burned and you've yo-yoed back and forth? You said the heck with it? This is so powerful that most men and women in the first 4 days will lose as much weight in a month on any diet. Now, once you get over the shock that your scale's not broken, it's crazy. I know that happened to me. When I did this 23 years ago, in the first 4 days, I lost 8 pounds. I lost 8 pounds in 4 days. I had 40 to lose. And I ended up losing 40 pounds in 7 weeks, and I've kept it off for 23 years. So there's no products, Izzy Bear. No products. No, 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 no. No products. This, I'm going to explain it to you, though, Izzy Bear, okay? Or Izzy Ann Bear. Sorry, I see that now. So it was invented by the top weight loss researchers in the world who have no products. They don't have a company, okay? They had done 100 studies over 40 years looking at analyzing every diet on the planet. They came to a couple of conclusions. One, they never found a diet where anybody kept weight off long term. Secondly, 2/3 of the people who did go on any of these diets gained more weight than they lost. So what they did, they said, we need to change something. One of the things about this, if you did it, no calorie counting, Izzy Bear. None. Zero. No calorie counting. The researchers put together, now here's what their theory was, not a theory. Could we find foods where we could give you less food but more nutrition? That's what they set out to do, and that's what they did. They put together a grocery list that you would actually get, that you would buy from your grocery store. No products, food, proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, and vegetables. No calorie counting. They give you serving sizes. And most people say that whatever you spent last month, when you use these serving sizes, you're going to buy like 25% of what you spent last month on these organic foods. That's not the key to this. The key is this. These researchers, or us, we don't have anything to sell you. There's no products. But they found other researchers who had gone around the world for 20 years to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, and the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, to find foods with huge amounts of nutrition. Forget the calories. So now they had the two different kinds of food. Because of these foods and because of this nutritional density, they were able to create a nutritional technology. So they were combining 30% of the food from the United States, organic, and 70% from these exotic locations. But that wasn't what made it work. What made it work, by doing this now and ignoring calories and only focusing on nutrition, they let her have 4 meals a day, 5 days a week. That's called protein pacing. You heard me. She started the day with these exotic foods from around the world. That was breakfast, no food from the grocery store. Lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a fourth meal after dinner, these exotic foods from around the world. That's 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. In those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods. But this time, she ate 8 times a day. Yes, every hour and a half for 2 hours. Now, what they proved, well, first of all, no diabetic had an insulin. They had no insulin spikes at all. People weighed 300 pounds, weren't hungry. Because the thing you got to understand, we've never, ever, ever, ever been hungry for calories. Your body has no idea what a calorie is. We've been brainwashed and told to count calories. It's a bunch of nonsense. Only thing your body knows and can calculate is nutrition. Now, I'm going to tell you the secret, what this is. It's not a diet. It's a detox. Now, why would I say that? Because we now know that every one of us, including me and you, is suffering. Izzy Bear, you're suffering from it too. TDOS, T for toxicity, D for nutritional deficiency, O for being overweight, S for stress. It's a syndrome. It's a registered trademark, U.S. Patent Office. Oh, Peter Greenlaw, who's that? Oh, I guess that's me. I did discover it. That's not what's important. What we now know, Izzy Bear, we're ingesting chemicals into water, air, and food. And as they come in the body to protect us is taking that chemical and stuffing it inside our fat cells. It's not up for debate. We know this in the visceral fat. That's why people complain not just about how much weight they have, but how much fat they have, right? So these researchers did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis proving that this was removing the chemicals from the body, and lo and behold, one of the side effects was this tremendous safe weight loss. Now, in her case, in all the cases, no one lost any water weight. She gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass, Izzy Bear, and she wasn't allowed to exercise. They wore Fitbits because the researchers would have said otherwise. Well, you said it was diet and exercise. That's why they lost weight. Absolutely not. Now, you certainly can exercise on this. And so, Izzy, what the thing we're telling everybody to do, do you see right above her head there in blue, the New Health Conversation? It's a free medical website. You type that in Google. I'll show you right now. You'd go to Google, you'd type in the New Health Conversation, because we're not allowed to put links on here. So this is the best we can do. The New Health Conversation in Google, boom, click on that, and there it is. There's nothing to buy on that site, Izzy Bear. The only thing on there is the medical proof, including number one, is an exclusive podcast with the number one weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. He and his team invented this. They're the top weight loss research, rated the top weight loss researchers in the world. And you know what he says in the interview? They, as scientists, will never put anybody on a traditional diet again. They said it would be unethical. They said, we can't ignore the fact, we know if we put people on a diet in 8 weeks, they're going to 25 to 40% of the weight they're going to lose, and they will lose some weight, is lean muscle mass. We now have the proof this. You can lose that kind of weight in a week and gain 6 to 9% lean muscle and have no loss of water weight. The number one reason to do this is not the weight loss, it's detox. Number two reason to do it is to reduce, and they proved it. This brought down inflammation by 25% in a month. So the stiffness, those little aches and pains, gone. But the third reason to do it, and one of the most important, is maintenance. That picture's they've kept the weight up for 8 or 9 years because the researchers have tracked them. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, 23 years ago. I've kept it off for 23 years. What? Yeah, 23 years. This is going to change the world. So does that make sense? I'll check it out. Okay. Muscle is a huge concern. Well, but you want to see what happens to an athlete, Izzy Bear? I'll show you. Now, this is someone who's a surfer, lives in Costa Rica, goes to the gym all the time. This is exactly 11 days. Talk about a transformation. Look at day 1, really pretty good shape. Then look, when it says day 5, it's the morning of day 5. That was really 4 days. And then look at day 12. That's 11 days in. Look at that transformation. You talk about building lean muscle. Izzy Bear, what do you think about that? Is that crazy good? Now, people would say, that's fake. I had a bodybuilder tell me, oh, it was lighting. What a bunch of nonsense. Now, I happen to know this person, Izzy Bear, kind of well. That's my youngest son. He's 43 years old. Look at that. He was already in pretty good, really good shape, and he goes to the gym 5, 6. He surfs twice a day, lives in Costa Rica. He surfs with 20-year-olds now. Look at the kind of shape he's in. This is going to change the world. It's not a diet, it's a detox. That's what I want you all to understand. It's a detox. And again, see there the New Health Conversation. So Izzy Bear, that's where you can go to see the medical proof. Isn't that amazing, everybody? Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, he's 43. He's a little bit younger than you, but not much, right? But Izzy and Bear, are these pictures amazing? But look at her, look at that, Izzy Bear. Look at her stomach and her hips. Let me get my fat hat out of the way. Look at that. Look at how much she shrank. That's not Photoshop. That's really what's going on. And then when you look at my friend's daughter, look at this. 60 pounds in 3 months. Look at her face. Look at her arms. Look at her body. Where's the loose skin? Is that not crazy, Izzy and Bear? Now let me show you one more for all of you. This makes me smile. Wait till you see this, everybody. Where is she? How about that, everybody? How about 200 pounds in I think it was a little bit over a year. She's kept it off. And look, but where's the loose skin, everybody? She hasn't had any surgery at all. Look at that. She was happy before, but now I think she's even happier. Is that not unbelievable? Unless you think we're faking or we're lying to you. That would make no sense. We're scientists, we're researchers. We don't have to do that. Because if you go to our website, there's nothing even to buy there, and we don't have anything to sell you anyway. You buy directly either from the grocery store or from these researchers who went around the world. And I didn't even tell you the best part, Izzy and Bear. So the 70% you'd spend from the researchers around the world, 100% money back guarantee in the first 30 days. You tell me anybody on any diet that's doing that for you. I mean, this is gonna change the world, everybody. So, yeah, Izzy and Bear, I just want to make sure you can read the website, correct? The New Health Conversation. Very important because there's no link. It's just you have to type that into Google, The New Health Conversation. Just like my TikTok account is at The New Health Conversation. That's my brand. It's a movement, everybody, a movement. You don't have to join. I mean, I would love for you to just share with us then. You don't even have to do it to be part of this. And turn your friends onto it. It's a movement. The New Health Conversation. Don't we need one, everybody? Is what we're doing currently working? I don't think so. You betcha. So who else would like to ask me a question? I'm going to end this in about 3 or 4 minutes because my voice is really crashing. Treasure Beauty shared your live. Thank you so much. Lots of people are coming on, but I can only go so far with my voice. It's my 5th podcast today. I'm one human being, and there's only so much that I can do, right? But even if you're coming on late, like Treasured Beauty, again, go to the website. Let me show everybody the website one more time, just so you know it's not fake. You type in the New Health Conversation. Hopefully you all can see that, right? There it is. Click on the New Health Conversation. You got to type it in Google. There's the website. There's nothing to buy there. Number 1 is an exclusive podcast with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. I didn't even show all of you that. You see at the top? This appeared June 9th of this year in Women's World, the #1 women's magazine in the world. The cover, I had the privilege, and I say a privilege, to coach both of those women. The daughter is a nurse. She's 57 years old. She lost 60 pounds. 50 pounds in 3 months. The mom's 80. She lost 90 pounds in about a year, and they both have kept it off for 3 years. She's 80 years old, everybody. You're not supposed to lose weight like that. Look at what the magazine called it, Over 50 Protein Miracle. I get to coach them both. I'm so happy. They're wonderful people. And you know what they're doing now? They're helping other people. They're literally coaching other people. It's so refreshing and so rewarding. I mean, I feel like I have the greatest job in the world because I get to, hear the stories of all of you with these incredible, incredible results. Where now people have hope for people that had no hope before. You know what a lot of people say? They say, I got back something I thought I lost forever. Like my 50-year-old friend here, saying, well, I'm 50. No, you don't understand. And don't take this wrong, Izzy and Bear. You really have no idea how bad you feel right now because you don't understand about how good you can feel. This is not about the weight loss. This is about making you feel like you're Superwoman or Superman. I mean, how cool is all that, right? So, Cage the Chameleon. So, Treasure and Beauty. Again, I'm going to end it now. Please, everybody, the New Health Conversation is where you can go to see the medical proof. So, I've got to go. My voice is crashing, okay? Thanks, everybody. Talk to you. Oh, tomorrow, if you're around, I'm going to start about 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I do one of these about every hour. Well, about 2 hours because they're normally an hour long, okay? Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your night, evening, tomorrow, wherever you might be in